victory. Tommy Nunez Jr., Leon Wood, Greg Willard, that's the three-man officiating crew tonight. And Sean Marion starts the game getting a basket, but he may have turned his ankle. He grabbed at it. He's slow to get up, limping and trying to get back into the play as Charlie Bell hits a three for Milwaukee as they had a numbers advantage, and an open three goes in for Bell.
Well, you hope Marion's okay. He's hobbling a little bit, but he's indicating to the bench, you know, I'm okay. Doesn't look like he's moving all right.
He's certainly grimacing, but trying to fight through it. As Kidd and Gooden are on a high pick and roll, and Dirk, his first shot over Warwick is no good. Remember, we've seen Warwick play pretty well against Dirk as a defender in his time with the Memphis Grizzlies. Dallas gets a steal and heads back the other way. The rookie Beaubois fighting Marion. Didn't appear to have much trouble getting up off the floor quickly there, Marion.
Yeah, he didn't dunk, though, and he had a shot at the dunk. And probably didn't do that because that ankle is tender. Don't know, but Dirk Nowitzki with the steal, by the way, enabling the Dallas Mavericks to get a score.
First foul of the game is on Drew Gooden. Marion lands on Carlos Delfino's foot here as you see the replay. Yep. Left ankle.
Pretty good look at it there. That's exactly what happened.
He has stayed on the floor since that occurred on the first possession of the game. And the Mavericks maintain the lead as Delfino misses, and Drew Gooden there for a rebound. He had 11 boards along with 11 points last night. A pass intended for Marion is stolen by Andrew Bogut. And here is the rookie Brandon Jennings, and he drives and misses. Went 21 of 34 en route to scoring 55 points Saturday night in a 129-125 win for the Bucks against the Golden State Warriors. The quickest into an NBA career, just his 7th game. Wilt scored over 50 as a rookie in his 8th NBA game, but Jennings tops half 100 in his 7th game. A rebound for Dallas, and a run-out situation results in a transition jumper for Dirk, and the Mavs are doubling up Milwaukee early on. Milwaukee has not lost at home this year. They're 5-0. All 4 games in this winning streak have been on their home floor. Minnesota, New York, Denver last Thursday, a nice win, and then Golden State on Saturday night. A deflection, pass still caught. Charlie Bell late in the shot clock, missed a three.
The Mavericks are certainly going to defend the Bucks a little differently as a result of benefiting from the ball game the other night that Golden State lost in here.
A lot of tape was available to study from that game, I'm sure, as Jennings, who hit 7 out of 8 threes in the game against the Warriors, drills his first from long range this evening.
And you can see how comfortable he is with the perimeter shot. He's got very good extension. His elbow is in. His follow through is great. He's got that loose wrist.
Kid goes to Dirk. Down low. Dirk scores with a foul.
Tell you what, a lot of people would not see through all of that traffic and be able to make the pass that Kidd just made. It did not look like, you know, a great pass, but the fact that he could see Dirk over the top of about 4 or 5 people in the lane, just he's just so creative with the basketball. And yes, he makes mistakes at times and turns it over because he tries more things than other people, and a lot of times when he does try them, his teammates aren't always expecting.
Just over 8 assists a game, and has his 2nd tonight. Dirk completes the 3-point play. Now Bogut lost it inside. Dirk comes away with the ball as Bogut's shot was way off the mark, and a 3 is put up and hit by Rodrigue Beaubois. 3rd assist for Kidd. First 3-point basket for Beaubois, who went 6 of 6 last night and scored a career best 14 points.
How many times are Beaubois and Jennings going to play against one another in the next 12 to 15 years?
2 times a year. If they stay in different conferences, it can be quite a matchup for sure. As the Mavericks lose it here in transition, almost 4 minutes into the game. Going to Bogut. Hakeem Warwick to pass, and Bogut misses. Bogut played only 36 games last year, missed 46 games because of a stress fracture in his lower back. And back to trying to get healthy this year, averaging 16 points and just over 9 rebounds. Inside, Drew Gooden gets it to go.
Mavericks appear really ready to play, and I think the 55 points that Jennings got the other night, in addition to the 4 wins that Milwaukee has in a row, has the attention of the Dallas Mavericks.
And obviously the Mavs motivated to close out a road trip with 3 straight wins. A 3-1 road trip in this league is certainly quite an accomplishment as Delfino connects on a 3-pointer. And the Maverick lead trimmed down to 3. Bobois comes back and misses off an elbow jumper. And Bogut there for the rebound. Jennings. Marion with the rebound. Jennings snuck in and almost got a steal.
You know, he's looking at Bobois too. He's very conscious of where the ball is defensively. He looks for steals.
Inside, Gooden, and dribble to gather himself, and he scores with a foul. And just over 5 minutes in, Milwaukee picking up their 2nd team foul of the quarter as Gooden scores on another find by Jason Kidd.
A good, really good shot fake because it was high into the air. He really made it look like he was going to go with a shot. And you want to do that when Bogut's around because Bogut wants to block shots. Gooden respected that. He knew that. He was well prepared. He read the situation well and now has a chance to get that old-fashioned 3-point play.
Kurt Thomas just subbed in for Andrew Bogut. The foul was on Bell. He has 1 and Warwick has 1. Bogut doesn't have any fouls coming out of the game very early. And replaced by Kurt Thomas, who spent 5 games in a Maverick uniform in the 97-98 season. Charlie Bell with it, 7 on the shot clock. The Mavericks lead it by 6. Here's Jennings turning the corner, driving, and will go to the line for 2. And by the way, he's already scored more points in the first quarter than he did Saturday night when he had 55, because among the many things that make that performance so eye-popping was that he didn't score in the first quarter en route to putting the double nickel on the board, Bob.
Yeah, that really is amazing. By the way, the drive he just made that he did not finish, he did drive to his right, went to his right, gets down along the baseline, doesn't complete the play, but did go right. He's going to be conscious of that because this league's going to pick up on that. He'll learn to go right. He'll be practicing going right in his sleep.
Averaging 25.6 points. He ranks 8th in the NBA in scoring. Just a 10th of a point behind Dirk Nowitzki, who is 7th. Shot clock is at 7 for Dirk. A shot fake against Warwick. Now rises over him. And a rebound for Delfino. Delfino didn't even play against Golden State the other night.
He's a good 3-point shooter, Delfino is. He's already hit one of those. He's got great range. Good back cut by Delfino.
And he dunks.
Speaking of Delfino.
Played in Russia last season. After 4 years in the NBA, 3 with Detroit and 1 with Toronto. He just scored, and it's a 3-point Maverick advantage as Rick Carlisle calls timeout. We played just over half the first quarter. Mavericks on the road in Milwaukee, looking to get to 8-3 on the season and end Milwaukee's 4-game winning streak. Well, we talked about the rookies at the top of the show, and they've made an early impact, both displaying long-range shooting skills. Jennings connects, and in transition, Rodrigue Bobois as well. Dallas up by 4. They lead 19-14 on the Drew Gooden basket. And Bob, this year in the first quarter, the Mavericks have struggled, shooting just over 39% in first quarters this year. But tonight they've set a real tone, getting back to your thought earlier that they really appear ready to play. They're 8 of 12 to start the game tonight.
Well, it's something that Carlisle has wanted to change. He said we have to learn to get off to better starts. They've been playing pretty well in the fourth quarter, but we are seeing a better start tonight.
Hakeem Ward connects. Drew Gooden has the last 7 points for Dallas, and here he is going to the basket to score again off a feed from Sean Marion.
He's been very active offensively without the ball, Gooden has. Last time he was able to slide the baseline. That time he has a bit of a dive cut, and he gets the ball, they get it to him in a timely manner. That's really important.
Jason Terry came into the game at the timeout, by the way, for Rodrigue Bobois. And a hit here by Hakeem Ward. Ward leads the Bucks with 6 in his first year with Milwaukee after 4 years with Memphis. He's averaging a little over 10 a game so far. Marion comes back to get the 2 for Dallas. Points in the paint for the Mavs. Their 6th paint basket so far. Jennings gets a screen from Kurt Thomas. Missed the teardrop. Kidd slapped it off the backboard, but Jennings got it back. And a baseline J goes for Kurt Thomas, the 3rd oldest player in the league, but could still hit that mid-range jumper even at 37 years old.
15 years, I believe. That's the number. And he is an excellent mid-range jump shooter. A much better one today than he was when he came into the league. He was more of a post-up player when he came into the league, but he shot turnaround jump shots over both shoulders. And he would get it done with strength, a good knowledge of the game, a great pair of hands. He really has good hands, Thomas does.
Luke Bahamute, second-year forward from UCLA, has just gone into the game for Delfino. DIRK taking a seat on the bench, replaced by Chris Humphries.
Ooh, I like the pass from Marion to Gooden. It was after the whistle, but that's a little bit of a high-low game there, and that was well done.
For Thomas, the foul, his first and the fourth team foul. Just under 4 minutes left of the first quarter, and a 23-20 Dallas lead. Screen by Gooden. Gooden, a pass fake now against Kurt Thomas, got him up in the air, and Drew Thomas's second foul. It's the Drew Gooden show early on for the Mavericks. He's got a team best 9 points and earns a trip to the free throw line.
He's bouncing around pretty good out there, Gooden is. He looked like he was going to try to make that drive to his right. And when he got that defender, Thomas, to drop back a little bit, he pulled up, and then Thomas ran at him. And once Thomas did that, he was vulnerable to any kind of a fake, and that's what happened.
Gooden now into double digits. He had 11 points in 38 minutes last night, and if he knocks down one more free throw here, he'll be at 11 points in just over 8 minutes this evening. And as you saw in that comparison a moment ago, the starting sitter for Milwaukee tonight, Andrew Bogut, who had a big double-double, 19 points and 11 rebounds on Saturday night, has not scored and has been on the bench after playing just 4.5 minutes so far. Warwick against Chris Humphries. Comes up short. Jason Terry there for the rebound. Gooden split the free throws, so the Maverick lead is 4. Kid has a size advantage against Jennings. Backed him down. Gooden with the fancy handles, eluding the defender, and tips it home off Jason Kidd's miss.
I'll tell you what, Gooden's really lively and springy out there.
A dozen points. Kurt Thomas faking the pick and pop. Now he'll take it and hit again. Thomas's playing time has been limited. Only 4 games so far this year with Milwaukee and averaging just 7 minutes a game. He's already equaled his season high. Catch and shoot 3 ball, Jason Terry. 2:40 left in the opening quarter. Jennings.
See, a little bit out of sync when you make him go right, Mark. He's going to, oh, that's a nice job running the floor.
Oh, it was. And Chris Humphries catches and finishes with a foul. Jason Kidd just got his 7th assist of the first quarter. Hakeem Ward committed his 2nd foul, and the Mavericks have an opportunity for a 3-point play when we return, with Dallas leading by 6 on the road. A 22 lead in Milwaukee. Some Maverick fans watching as there's 2:27 left of the first quarter. Play Mega Millions for the Texas Lottery and get a chance to win big. The estimated annuitized jackpot is $17 million. So play Mega Millions today. Who knows? Maybe it's your lucky day. Drew Gooden got the emergency start last night in place of Eric Dampier. 11 points, 11 rebounds, and he is playing well tonight. Bob already 12 points tonight off the heels of his 152nd career double-double last night.
He's perfect from the field. He's taken 5 shots. He's made all 5 of those. He's got a couple of free throws, but he's been very active, very lively. He's moving around. He's springy. He really appears to be alert. I like to see guys that they give you the impression anyway, and I'm sure they do feel this way, but you get the impression they really like to play.
Humphries does not complete the 3-point play. Into the game, Ersan Ilyasova wearing number 7 and with the mask on. Andrew Bogut is also back in, and Luke Ridnour has subbed in. Brandon Jennings goes out of the game. Jennings 1 of 5, 4 points. Bogut over Humphries and misses.
Bogut will use both hands down low. He'll use both his right and his left hand to shoot that little jump hook.
A former #1 overall pick in the summer of 2005. After being College Player of the Year in his last year in Utah. Rattling in a 3, Jason Kidd, and the Mavericks have built their biggest lead, shooting 68% for the first quarter and in front by 9.
It's a very pleasant change, a good start by Dallas.
Luke Ridnour.
pretty solid backup guard Ridnour is. Shoots it pretty well, takes care of it, hustles and works hard.
7th year in the NBA out of Washington, 5 years with Seattle, 2nd year with Milwaukee. Defense at 3 seconds. Called on the Bucks. That's a technical foul. 1 free throw for Dallas. Jody Meeks, by the way, in the game, rookie out of Kentucky, who just scored the ball with a vengeance last year in his 3rd and final year for Kentucky. The defensive 3-second call was on Andrew Bogut. While we have a stoppage in play, let's quickly cover the Eric Dampier situation, by the way, because he has been released from the Pontiac, Michigan hospital, where he stayed overnight for observation after becoming ill shortly before the game. And I mean very shortly before the game yesterday against the Pistons. He is being accompanied by Mavericks athletic trainer Casey Smith. They are coming back to Milwaukee. He'll meet the team here tonight and fly back on the team plane to Dallas tonight, and then we'll see where that situation goes from here.
Well, that's really good news that everything's okay and he gets to return home with his team tonight. Everybody will be glad to see him, I'm sure.
On the drive, Jason Terry blocks. He missed the free throw after the defensive 3-second call. Dallas with a 7-point lead. Barea just went in. DIRK returned. Quentin Ross is in for the first time. And Barea fouls Luc Mbah a Moute on the perimeter. First foul on Barea. Mavericks had that one to give. They're first in the last 2 minutes with 56 seconds left in the first quarter. And a throw in coming for Jody Meeks. 41st pick last summer in the draft.
You were talking about Meeks earlier. He set a University of Kentucky record last year with 117 threes made.
And had 54 points in one game against Tennessee as Bogut gets the follow dunk. See how Dallas manages the clock here. Going to Humphries on a pick and roll. It's stolen by Meeks. The Mavericks miss a 2-for-1 opportunity. Meeks has it knocked away, but retrieves and scores in Milwaukee. Has scored 6 straight. A Meeks layup with 29.8 left in the first brings them to within 3.
And you do not like a finish like this to a quarter if you're Dallas. You don't want to finish quarters like this. Finish them strong. Let that momentum carry over into the next quarter.
8 on the shot clock. DIRK against Ilyasova. Into the paint, draws a foul. And with 5 points on the board tonight, DIRK takes a trip to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Bogut was quick to come over looking for the block shot. He was going to help on DIRK. He knew where DIRK was going to go.
Ilyasova committed his first foul. The line you see for DIRK last night against Detroit, 25 points, 11 out of 27 from the floor. He was named Western Conference Player of the Week in 4 games last week. Averaged just over 24 points and nearly 9 rebounds. Also 3 assists and nearly 2 blocks per game. The 11th time in DIRK's career that he's won Western Conference Player of the Week honors.
Isn't that something? 11 times.
Absolutely. Ilyasova off the mark on a 3. Rebound Chris Humphries, and the quarter will come to an end. Dallas 33, Milwaukee 28 after 1. Half of Dallas's offense is in the paint. 16 points in the paint, and a big reason why is the story of the first quarter. Drew Gooden. Look at all those opportunities for Gooden to score inside. 4 baskets in the paint and 1 just outside the paint. A short J along the right baseline. So the Mavericks playing well on the finale of a 4-game road trip, their second longest road trip of the season. They're 2-1 so far, and thanks to the active and lively play of Drew Gooden early on, they're in front by 5 after 1. This quarter, they lead by 5, completing this 4-game road trip. They come back home to play Wednesday night against the San Antonio Spurs, and Dallas has put together a special Beat the Spurs ticket offer. Call 214-747-MAVS right now to get in on this exclusive lower level and platinum ticket offer. That's an 8:30 game on Wednesday night at American Airlines Center. And we'll have the coverage, of course, on TXA 21. So make sure to tune in for what should be a game where the Mavericks are looking for a little bit of revenge after a loss at the beginning of this road trip on Wednesday night in San Antonio. Offensive rebound. Milwaukee had the ball back before they turned it over. Luc Mbah a Moute caught it and stepped out of bounds when he did, Bob.
You see that a lot, guys in the corner, because they get ready to catch the ball and make the drive, but they drop a foot back and frequently step on the line, step out of bounds. That drives coaches nuts.
Humphries from Berea stumbles, and it's Luke Ridnour coming away with a loose ball. Ridnour twirls and puts it up off the glass. Ilyasova follows it home. The lineup for Dallas here at the start of the second quarter. Berea and Terry in the backcourt. In the front line of Quentin Ross, DIRK, and Chris Humphries. For Milwaukee, you got Ridnour on the floor. Jody Meeks, Luke Baamute, Ilyasova, and Andrew Bogut as Jason Terry knocked to the deck, scores the basket, has a chance at three the hard way.
That's Terry once again, going through the defense, coming off a pin down or a curl cut and going to his right. See the curl cut to his right. He's so effective going to his right, which is why they're running kind of a misdirection stuff, because he works his way away from the ball, and then when he makes the curl cut, or if it's a pin down, he makes that cut, comes back to his right, catches and looks for the shot.
Jason Terry went 1 of 7 from the floor last night, but did connect on a big three in the fourth quarter as the Mavs got some separation and route to a 5-point victory against Detroit. Bogut misses deep in the paint. Loose ball, and a jump ball is called. See Baamute, Humphries, and Quentin Ross all on the floor going after it. And with 1:17 gone by in the second quarter, jump ball is coming in Milwaukee's offensive end between Humphries and Luke Baamute.
Humphries has got a tip between Terry and Ross right now. That's a good job.
And it's Ross who runs it down for Dallas.
Right where the tip had to go.
Nowitzki against Ilyasova. Comes up short, rebound for Ridnour. Mavs lead by 6. They've led by as many as 9, and Ridnour drains the pull-up.
He's a good shooter, good jump shooter, and he will drive the ball. Like I mentioned, he's just a good, solid backup player. And he's been a starter on teams in this league, too.
Was a starter on a team in Seattle that made it into the second round in 2005. Berea with a three-pointer. 9th three-pointer of the year made by J.J. Berea as he gets on the board. The Maverick bench, which has performed so admirably this year, struggled last night. But you've got scores already from Terry, Humphries, and Berea so far here, just going into the early second quarter of this game. Meeks came back to score for Kentucky, and Dallas leads by 5. Repick by DIRK. Berea, blocking foul. Berea argues for a shooting foul, but was certainly making a pass attempt, as the call is on Jody Meeks. It's his second.
He tucked that ball away. It looked like a running back. He knew he was going to get hit.
And now Ridnour and Berea battling for position off the inbounds pass, triggered in by Terry. Berea got free to receive it. And now you've got DIRK operating on the right side of the floor again against Ilyasova, uses the glass.
A lot of people ask me all the time, how come they don't go set picks for DIRK? You don't go set picks for DIRK because you don't want to take the second defender into that area to help out against him. So you isolate him one-on-one, and with his size, he gets good looks. That's a pretty good look right there.
Yes, by Baamute, the 23-year-old who played in a Final Four in each of his 3 seasons for Ben Howland at UCLA.
Mavericks need to pick that defensive up a little bit. They need to get more stops than they're getting right now.
Berea, another 3. 68% shooting for Dallas. That's why they still lead, despite not getting the stops that you want to see, as they're sitting on 44 early in the second quarter.
And they're not getting the stops that Dwayne Casey wants to see either, but they'll get him in the second half because that defense is in front of the Mavericks bench in the second half, and that's when Dwayne Casey really begins to orchestrate that defense.
Chris Humphries with a foul, his first. J.J. Berea displaying the outside shooting touch here in the second quarter. Draining a couple of threes. That one from Jason Terry. The Mavs lead by 8. The Mavs take on the Spurs on Wednesday. Last time we saw Skin was the day All-Star balloting started last week at Dallas, and boy was he campaigning.
We have 5 All-Stars to vote for. Dirk, Jet, Kidd, Marion, and Josh Howard. Now get to texting. Get to texting right now, son. Hurry. Get that number in there. You're wasting my time. My time. Don't talk back to me. He's out. You're out. What are you texting? Jet, perfect. Dirk, perfect. What are you deleting? You're wasting my time. Everyone, text, text, text.
Well, you can vote for your favorite Maverick daily online at NBA.com. Text the player's last name to 69622. And the paper ballots, the old-fashioned way, if you will, are available at the American Airlines Center, with balloting continuing into January for the NBA All-Star Game to be held in Dallas, Valentine's Day 2010 at the Cowboys' new stadium in Arlington. Official.
You know, we haven't seen Skin in so long. By the time we get home, he's going to have a full head of hair.
He'll have to get out the hair tonic or something to get his hair to grow that quickly.
Wow.
1 second on the shot clock here as Jason Terry, by the way, blocked that out of bounds. Bogut gets free and dunks off the inbounds pass.
You've got to communicate in a situation like that. You've got to talk defensively.
Maria, Terry, Ross, Dirk, and Humphries. That lineup has been on the floor pretty much the whole second quarter for Dallas. High pick and roll with Terry and Humphries, and Terry got caught up into the air and threw it away. Left his feet, didn't have any place to go, and a turnover committed by Dallas, their 5th. Ilyasova with the pass, and that one is a turnover for Milwaukee as Bogut was barking a little bit at his teammate afterwards as that ball deflected out of bounds off Bogut.
Charlie Bell wasn't happy about that either.
Hand off Gray to Terry. Mavs lead by 6. 7.5 minutes remaining first half. Dirk drains one over Ilyasova again. Ilyasova did play with the Bucks in the 06-07 season and then went overseas and played for a couple of years in Spain with FC Barcelona. He's having a tough time defensively against Dirk here in the second quarter.
I hope he doesn't feel like the Lone Ranger, though.
Very good point.
A lot of guys have had trouble against Dirk.
Charlie Bell with the miss. Maria the dribble drive. Quentin Ross. Missed from the perimeter. Trying to knock down a 3. Rittenauer. That's a long 2-pointer for Luke Rittenauer.
Got a pretty quick release, too, Rittenauer does. When daylight is there, he's quick into the air and with a pretty quick release.
5 guys off the Milwaukee bench have played, and they've all scored.
He's played pretty well. Rittenauer's played pretty well here tonight.
And he's got a half dozen. Dirk draws a foul. Nowitzki to the line. Jennings and Carlos Delfino go into the game, and subbing back out Ilyasova and Rittenauer. They called that foul in the arena on Andrew Bogut for his first, but I didn't even see Andrew Bogut by the play. I thought it was Ilyasova. Nowitzki with the free throw.
He was by the play, but I don't think he committed the foul.
3rd team foul for Milwaukee. Mavericks only have 1 here in the second quarter. Dallas is 4-2 on the road this year, and 7-3 overall. Looking to pick up their 3rd straight road win to close out this trip. Back in Brandon Jennings. Went 1 of 5 in the time that he played in the first quarter, scoring 4 points. He did have 3 assists. In the lane, Bogut.
Good low post player, good back to the basket player who has really kind of increased his moves down there.
And averaged a double-double last year when he played, averaging only 12 points and over 10 rebounds a game. But again, more than half of his season, 46 games, were wiped off last year because of a stress fracture in his lower back. Foul here on Charlie Bell, 4th in the quarter, and the 2nd of the game on Charlie Bell. Dirk going out. Drew Gooden returns. Rick Carlisle wants to make more changes. Jason Kidd and Sean Marion.
You may see a little bit more of that tonight out of Rick Carlisle than you might normally see. Remember, it's the end of a road trip. It's the 5th game in 7 nights, and it's a back-to-back, so you want to go to your bench a little bit more frequently. And the bench has been so productive this season that he's not hesitating at all to do that.
And they are getting a big production boost from J.J. Barea, Bob.
Another example of the bench.
11. Or make it 9 for Barea. 3 threes.
3 threes. It's been a long week for you too. You thought he had 4 threes. That would have been 12 instead of 11 anyway.
I thought he had another. I thought he had a 2 mixed in there at some point. Jennings got double teamed, found Bogut in the lane, and Bogut will get the bounce.
He's down low again, once again around the basket. He's an around the basket kind of guy, but he's pretty effective down there with both hands.
And you saw the respect of the Mavericks were paying to Brandon Jennings, putting 2 defenders on him, and a good find by Jennings against the double team. 10 on the shot clock. Will he make it 4 threes now? Just rimming out, and Delfino there for the rebound. On the drive, Brandon Jennings. Look at that scoop. He misses, though. And then Bob Moute is there to fend off a couple of Mavericks inside and get the putback.
The offensive rebound, you know, the opportunity is created because the defender has to go help out against Jennings. And when that happens, it creates a lane for the bigger guy to get to the offensive glass, which is precisely what happened.
A timeout called by Dallas, with the Mavericks leading 51-46, 4:50 remaining in the second quarter. Let's go back to the studio for the Chevy shot clock game break.
Welcome into the Fox Sports Southwest studios for a Chevy game break. I'm Dana Larson. Couple of first-place teams going head-to-head in Atlanta tonight. The Southeast leading Hawks hosting the Northwest leading Blazers. Steve Blake giving Portland a double-digit lead at the time. 9 points now as they play on in the fourth quarter. Our time is up, but you still have time to visit ChevyShotClock.com for your chance to win a 2010 Chevy Silverado.
In basketball, there's nothing like drawing up the right drive. And in the case of Chevy Silverado, traveling every chance you can get. With fuel economy and a warranty Ford F-150 just can't beat shot for shot. Silverado also has the lowest cost of ownership of any full-size pickup. Looks like the competition needs to go back to the drawing board. Now during Truck Month, get 0% APR for 60 months on the 09 Silverado. That's an average finance savings of around $6 grand. See your North Texas Chevy dealer.
Log on to ChevyShotClock.com to find out how you can win an all-new 2010 Chevy Silverado.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Ow!
What would you do now that it has a thicker, more chocolatey shell?
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
The Baylor Bears and the Texas Tech Red Raiders come to the Metroplex Thanksgiving weekend. Make your plans today to see the Texas Farm Bureau Insurance Shootout at the new Cowboy Stadium, Saturday, November 28th. Tickets available now at Ticketmaster.com.
The Mavs on Fox Sports Southwest are brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Grab your bag, it's on. By the Ford F-150. And by Klondike, with a thicker, chocolatey shell. What would you do for a Klondike bar now?
The way in which you ask that, I almost want to answer it every time we do that. Just, what would you do for a Klondike bar now?
Well, I'm trying to give it just a little bit of the song, you know, because that was sang in jingle form back in the day in the Klondike commercials.
Well, you're getting it done, Michael.
Thank you.
But the Mavericks are not getting it done at the defensive end of the floor. They are shooting 65%. Dallas is. They have committed only 4 fouls, and they lead by only 5 points. If they were more aggressive defensively, believe me, it would be more than 4 fouls. Fortunately for the shooting percentage, that is where they're hanging their hat right now, but that's what the discussion will be about at halftime. I would almost be willing to bet.
Deflection off Marion. Turnover Dallas. 3-guard offense on the floor. Barea, Terry, Kidd, Gooden, and Marion. A foul on Dallas. Carlos Delfino to the free throw line. Drew Gooden picks up his second. So there's the 5th foul of the game on the Mavericks. The second here in the second quarter with 4:38 remaining. And Delfino a trip to the free throw line.
One thing you don't want Milwaukee to do now is to be able to take a lead to the locker room at halftime. You have to remember, if you're Dallas, they've won everything at home this year. 4-0. The crowd's been a little bit quiet, but if this thing tightens up anymore, the crowd will get into it a little bit. And if Milwaukee gets a good finish to that first half, that carries over to your third quarter. If you're Dallas, this is a real important 4.5 minutes.
Scott Skiles looking on. Rodrigue Beaubois goes in for Jason Terry. Scott Skiles still holds the NBA single game assist record, by the way, when he had 30 with Orlando on December 30th, 1990.
He looks as intense there on the bench as he was as a player. Just a very, very good competitor.
One possession game on Delfino's free throws. If we have seen this three-guard offense this year, we have seen it very, very little. Kidd, Barea, and Beaubois on the floor. Gooden traveled. Mavs turn it over for the 7th time. And a deep one would tie the game for Milwaukee. They have hit 3 threes tonight. The Mavericks have 5. We've got Beaubois checking Brandon Jennings. And just to give him a little something to think about, picked him up in the backcourt.
Beaubois, 21 years old. Jennings, 20 years old.
Bob Moute. Beaubois with the rebound. 4 minutes left in the half. Marion feeds Gooden. Dallas's second leading scorer. Pass over the top. Gooden had it knocked away. They credit Jennings with a block. And he finds Delfino in transition. And Gooden boxing out Bob Moute, gets it back for Dallas.
Important rebound right there for Dallas. Gooden, a good job on that defensive glass.
Marion screens off Jennings. Barea gets away from him, drives the paint, and gets the bounce off the front iron. Nowitzki resting with 13 points, a game high for Dallas. Mavs lead by 5. 64.5% shooting tonight for the Mavs. On the drive, Jennings. Kidd the closeout on Delfino. Nice right up the baseline to score.
Your interior help side defenders have got to come over and take that away. That's that aggressiveness I'm talking about defensively.
Nice looking jump shot, Drew Gooden.
Don't be led into the fact that we're going to outscore this team. Out defend them, out rebound them. You run and pass to score. You defend and rebound to win.
Gooden with the rebound. Jennings missed. Beaubois limping because he got tripped up by Andrew Bogut. Remember, Marion had a tweak on the first play of the game with his left ankle, but he's on the floor now. Receives the pass from Gooden. In the lane, he misses. Jennings up ahead, running the floor. Bob Moute, he scores. The native of Cameroon, Luc Bob Moute. Fouled as he hit the shot and has a chance at a three-point play. Beaubois with his first foul. Timeout on the floor, 2:19 left in the second on Fox Sports Southwest and NBA TV. And if you've ever dreamed of sitting on the floor at a Mavs game, text OTB Mavs to 777-111 to enter the On the Border ticket giveaway. Courtesy of On the Border. Standard texting rates apply. Speaking of texting, you can text for the On the Border Dream Ticket giveaway, or you can text the show. We'll take your text questions at 46287. And this text from 4660, can you explain what the call on the floor means? Well, when a foul, when it's referred to as that foul is on the floor, it's in a situation where a player is maybe about to go up into the shooting motion. He's called, or the player called for the foul is called before that player goes up into the shooting motion. So it's to delineate that the foul is before a player's gone into the act of shooting. And if it's one of the first 4 fouls of a quarter, for example, Bob, then it's a non-shooting foul. It's on the floor before the player went up to shoot.
But you know what? It's really a pretty good question when you stop and think about it. All the fouls are called out there on the floor. I mean, they really are. So I think that's a good question. Your explanation is right. That's exactly what it means. But, you know, the person submitting that text question is thinking. Very good.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Good job, 4660. Luc Bob Moute. Missed the free throw. Drew Gooden there for the rebound.
I'm sure that Dallas is not happy with the end of the first quarter and the end of the second quarter here tonight.
But they still have something that they can do about the end of the second quarter with just over 2 minutes remaining. And a lob, and it's Beaubois dunking it.
There it is again. That's Rick Carlisle at his best. Coming out of a timeout, calling a set play, and the execution was outstanding.
In every game that Beaubois has started, the Mavericks have run that play for a successful basket. against New Orleans, against Minnesota, and in those games it was the first play of the game. It happened against Detroit last night, and he scores on the alley-oop tonight. But Milwaukee comes back to get the 2 on the bucket by Bogut. First player into double digits, Andrew Bogut with 10.
It's a really nice up and under move by Bogut.
First player for the Bucks into double digits, I should say. You've got Baumute getting the steal, saving it in. Beaubois has it. There was a change of possession. So you have a new shot clock as Nowitzki crowded by Baumute, who had a reputation as an excellent defender coming out of college. And that, of course, is carried over here. On the drive, you've got a foul here on Jennings. The Bucks go over the limit. Now, if they weren't over the limit, by the way, that would have been a foul on the floor.
Because he attempts to gather and get to the shot. And the foul comes ahead of that, then that means you've got a foul on the floor.
But
we got that cleared up,
yes,
didn't we?
but Milwaukee had 5 team fouls in the quarter over the limit, so you've got Beaubois shooting 2 free throws. And it's Jody Meeks checking back in for Charlie Bell. The foul was on Brandon Jennings for his first.
Milwaukee shooting 50%.
Beaubois 1 of 2 at the line. Is he going to get this back? He does. What an effort by Beaubois after it appeared that Milwaukee was going to rebound his miss, and it gets Dallas a second chance bucket of the 3-point variety.
Look at the value of the effort and the hustle by Beaubois. Gets it back for your team, and you end up hitting a 3.
You get a 4-point trip down the floor. Delfino misses. Dirk rebounds. Beaubois has been right in the middle of some big plays for Dallas here in the final 2 minutes of the first half.
We haven't seen him get a lot of minutes coming off the bench after he once starts, but we've seen that tonight.
Driving, Dirk in the paint, got it.
Little hook shot.
And a 9-point Dallas lead, their biggest lead. They've scored the last 6. A Beaubois free throw, a 3-pointer by Terry, and now the Dirk bucket.
They're going to get it back. See, they are really making Jennings go right. And it slowed him somewhat. There's a steal by Kidd.
From behind, knocked it away from Bogut. On the break, Kidd will back it up, slow it down. Smart decision by Beaubois to get it to Kidd because he made the smart play. And now you've got Dallas in position to hold for the last shot. Dirk against Baumute. Doubled. Finds Kidd. On the money with 0.6 left in the half.
There's that finish in the last 2 minutes, huh?
I told you they had time to turn it around.
Yeah, I'll go listen to you. I told you. Yeah, I told you so. But you know what? You're right.
9 in a row scored by Dallas to end the half. And Beaubois was right there in the middle of it. So was Jason Terry. And let's watch Beaubois here with the hustle. That was after he missed the free throw. Gets it back, Bob. Sends it to the perimeter. And then, of course, Kidd makes the excellent pass to Jason Terry. And then how about Jason Kidd? 3-pointer against the clock.
Old-fashioned inside-outside game. Ball went to Dirk. They doubled down on Dirk. He went back outside to the shooter.
Mavericks head to the locker room with momentum as they score the last 9. Dallas in front. A big 66 on the board in the first half. Dirk from Kidd. They double it out of Dirk's hands for 3. Jason Kidd rattles it home. Just like yesterday, Jason Kidd stepping up to deliver a timely 3 as Milwaukee was building some momentum. Kidd gives the Mavs a little more breathing room, but Luke Ridnour steps into a 3 and answers right back. .450 left in the third. Mavs have hit 8 3-pointers in this game. Dan Gadzarich, 3 seconds, defensive 3 seconds. Technical foul on the free throw for the Mavs. As Jason Terry will go in for Rodrigue Beaubois. This will be after, the sub will be after Dirk shoots the free throw. Had a chance to get to 20 but missed, and it won't be going in for Beaubois. Beg your pardon, Beaubois started to head to the bench, but it's Terry going in for Quentin Ross. Sean Marion suffered a left ankle sprain in the first half tonight. Did play through it to the tune of 15 first half minutes, but will not be playing in the second half as Drew Gooden gets into the paint and gets knocked to the floor. A foul on Milwaukee. First team foul on the Bucks here in this quarter. And that's Luke Bahamute with his first. And on the free throw line, Drew Gooden.
Mentioned Jason Kidd once again. He's got 9 points, 14 assists, and 7 rebounds. He's 1 point and 3 rebounds away from a triple-double.
Drew Gooden on the free throw line. We just got a text, by the way, 1055. What is a double-double? It's when a player accumulates double digits in 2 statistical categories. And oftentimes that's a point rebound double-double, which Drew Gooden had in the game against Detroit yesterday. But it can be the point assist double-double, which it seems like Steve Nash and Chris Paul have on a nightly basis. And Jason Kidd has had plenty of those. He's had rebound assist double-doubles. That's very rare, but that does happen.
The Mavericks have changed up. They've gone zone. It's a 2-3 zone. We saw this last night.
Steal, Rodrigue Beaubois playing the passing lane in the zone. And this time he will scoop it to the hoop and miss, running the 2-on-1. We saw him make a great give up with the ball to Sean Marion in that situation last night. Trying to score there, doesn't get it to go. And Bahamute comes up way short. DIRK credited with a block. He had 2 in the game against the Pistons. Gooden over Gadzarich. A rebound for Jody Meeks. And of course, triple-double. Double digits in 3 categories, and that is often points, rebounds, and assists. Every once in a while you see the points, rebounds, and blocks, and even rarer still, points, rebounds, and steals, or points, assists, and steals, as Ridnour hits a 3. Jason Kidd has 103 triple doubles. He's in the ballpark of number 104 at 9.7 rebounds and 14 assists. But his counterpart, Luke Ridnour, on the floor at the point for Milwaukee, just hit a 3, and the Bucks are making a push. 81-70 Dallas with 3:42.
Jason Kidd having a heck of a ball game. He's approaching a triple-double. He's 3 out of 3 on 3-pointers. He's got 9 points, 14 assists, and 7 rebounds. Been very active, very aggressive, trying to make sure that he sees to it that his team doesn't get to a point where they think, hey, this one's in the win column. Can't think that. They're going to have to finish it out. Kidd doing an excellent job, Mark.
Marines.com leaders of the game. Jason Kidd, 9 points, 7 boards, 14 assists. The 14 assist is a season high. The rebound number ties a season high. He has scored 19 points in a game this year. Had 10 yesterday. Kidd coming in averaging just over 8 assists per game. Luke Ridnour made 1 change. Or Scott Skiles, by the way, made 1 change after the timeout when Ridnour hit the 3. As Brandon Jennings has gone in, he'll play alongside Ridnour in the backcourt. He's got Bahamute, Gadzarich, and Ilyasova staying in there off the bench. Gadzarich steps out of the passing lane, deflects it out of bounds with 3:27 left in the third.
Well,
9 on the shot clock.
Gadzarich knew what was coming, because Terry was coming across from the right side of the floor to the left, so he could turn right and make the catch. Gadzarich knew it.
Correa turned it over. Singleton is in the game, and he runs up the backside of Ridnour and commits a foul. And for Dallas, that's their 3rd team foul of the 3rd quarter. First on James Singleton, seeing his first game action tonight. Didn't play against Detroit last night, and pressed into some service because of the Sean Marion left ankle sprain situation. Roll into Brandon Jennings. 2 of 9, 6 points, 5 assists. Singleton stepped out and bumped Ridnour. That's 2 on Singleton, 4 in the quarter now. So on the next Maverick foul, Milwaukee will be shooting free throws here in the 3rd quarter. 14 on the shot clock. Did Terry Borea, Gooden, and Singleton. Ilyasova and the paint, deflected by Gooden, and deflected it off. Gadzarich out of bounds.
Nice defensive sequence that time. Mavericks leading by 11. Didn't want Milwaukee to get down into single digits.
Singleton to Terry. Ray had a nice shooting first half. Gets into the paint, has it blocked by Gadzarich. Ridnour pulls up. Buries another 3. 16 is his season high. He has 15 tonight. And now Milwaukee has drawn to within 8. After trailing by 18, nobody there. Kidd on the pass into the corner. Turnover, Dallas.
What Kidd was trying to do, I think he wanted to back Jennings down, but he thought that spot-up shooter was going to be in the corner. And what happened, the spot-up shooter thought Kidd was going to shoot it, so he was sliding the baseline to get to the offensive glass.
Ilyasova hits a three. Milwaukee's bench has done it by knocking down threes, primarily Ridnour and Ilyasova, and you're right, new ball game. Timeout, a 20 for Dallas.
Regardless of the lead that you have in this league, you cannot get careless. You've got to remember, you got a 24-second shot clock, and you've got the three-pointer. And teams can make up a lot of points in a short period of time, and that's what's happened.
.216 left in the third. Dallas up by 5. You're just tuning in. Mavericks have led by as many as 18, but things have shrunk lead-wise here in the third quarter. Injury update for Dallas. Of course, Josh Howard and Tim Thomas inactive. Eric Dampier ill before yesterday's game in Detroit and missing tonight's game as well. And Sean Marion, sprained left ankle, suffered on the first play of the game. Did play 15 first half minutes, but will not return. Out of the timeout, a Singleton three is missed, but slapped out by Drew Gooden. And Jason Terry will heave from long range. Singleton was there trying to pry it free. And a foul in the backcourt. No, a travel. A call on Brandon Jennings. And he gives it back to Dallas with a big turnover with 1:54 to go in the third.
It's kind of a forced turnover, though, because Terry got in the way. It looked like Terry was going to try to draw the charge. I think Jennings tried to avoid him. In the process of trying to avoid Terry, he walks with the ball. Yes, he did. Little thing defensively that turns out to be big.
Good against Gadzarich. Gadzarich forces a miss. Gadzarich has helped Milwaukee defensively. Here they run the floor. Luc Mbah a Moute makes it a three-point game. He's got 11.
Scott Skiles takes those starters out, puts 5 new guys off the bench in early in the third quarter, and it worked.
Gooden with the score on the hook shot, and Dallas's lead back to 5. Now Jennings gets to the cup and will earn a trip to the line. Didn't get to finish, but will shoot free throws with 1:09 left in the third. Nowitzki to go back in with 1:09 left in the third, and Humphries will return. 19 for DIRK. He's played 25 minutes tonight. You wonder if Rick Carlisle wanted to get him more rest, maybe all the way until the end of the third quarter, and then get that quarter break to rest as well before coming back.
I think he probably did. I think he would prefer to have done that, but he got a little bit like you. Both of you guys got a little nervous.
Understandable.
Yes.
As a run is being made here, which has Milwaukee within 4, as Jennings goes 1 of 2 at the line.
It frequently is a league of runs, and Milwaukee's had a nice one here in this third period.
Milwaukee has a foul to give. Humphries open jumper and around and down. Gooden and Humphries have hit a couple of buckets here in the last minute for Dallas. Milwaukee has been within 3. The lead is 6. Driving, Mbah a Moute. Ilyasova. Offensive rebound, Mbah a Moute, but then taken away. And a foul that Milwaukee has to give here at 34.7 remaining in the third. Quentin Ross to go back in. Luc Mbah a Moute, a foul, is second.
I like this. This crowd's starting to get into it a little bit. They're booing and hooting and hollering.
Milwaukee is 5-0 this year at home. Correa guarded by Ridnour. DIRK against Ilyasova. Spin move to the baseline. Fading. And Humphries knocked it out of bounds. 14.2 left in the third. A roller coaster third that started very much in Dallas's favor, but Milwaukee has stormed back. Ross in defensively. Jennings with a long three. And ends the third quarter at 1.8 with a three-pointer. That is his first of the game. And here's Barea with a shot that is late. He almost banked it home, but it was after the buzzer. So through three quarters, it's anybody's ball game. Dallas 85, Milwaukee 82. As we go to the Aaron's studio for the Aaron's Lucky Dog update. Clear path foul. They're talking here. Two-shot foul. That's the call.
Good.
On Luke Ridnour. Luke Ridnour had 4 3-pointers all year, but he has 3 tonight as Milwaukee had a barrage of 7 threes in that third quarter. But Dallas has had an answer here to start the fourth. Jason Terry a bucket and then a steal here.
Get the defensive play. Terry comes away with the ball, and once again, when you get steals and things like the toughest play in the game to defend is the steal. And Terry was very aggressive in getting it right to the glass.
Pair of free throws hit for Terry, and the Maverick lead is 7. So they have the first 4 points of the fourth. Bogut back in, fouled by Chris Humphries. Bogut does not have a history as a good free throw shooter. 57% last year, and only 52% this season. On the free throw line for the first time this evening.
I like the explanation by the official. Rick Carlisle had a question, and he just said, well, he extended his arm out, and you can't do that. He's got the arm bar and the arm bent. Once he starts to push with that right arm and straighten that thing out, that call's going to go against you. He didn't get it fully straightened out, by the way, but he started to push forward with that right arm.
1 of 2 at the line for Bogut.
Chris had a call like that last night, too.
That's right.
It's all right. He's a good physical player inside. He's a tough player, and he's helped this club.
4 points, 3 rebounds, and 12 minutes off the bench.
Once again, a team without Sean Marion, a team without Josh Howard, a team without Eric Dampier, without Tim Thomas.
Foul there on Ilya Silva. That's his second. Milwaukee with 2 team fouls in the quarter. In the paint, Jason Terry draws another foul in the act of shooting. And back on the free throw line.
That's good work by Terry. He worked very, very hard to get open. Once again, the pass was in the right place at the right time. Both of those things are very important. You can make the pass at the right time, but in the wrong place, and you can make the pass in the right place at the wrong time. It's a combination of those two things.
Jason Terry, 79% this year at the free throw line. Averaging 17 points a game this year. He goes into double digits here in the fourth quarter because he scored 6. He had only 6 through the first 3 quarters. But answering the bell here in the fourth. Brandon Jennings, floater in the lane.
You certainly can see the promise in Jennings. It's just that the Mavericks have made him work a lot harder than obviously he had to work the other night.
Well, he certainly put himself on the radar after the 55-point game.
I would agree with that.
And after a season, remember, where he had just 5.5 points a game scored in Italy, and many were wondering if that was a smart decision on his part to spend a year out of high school playing overseas.
Well, all he did was duplicate that with the Bucks. I mean, he got 55 here. He had 5.5 there. The same numbers are the same.
Played for Automatica Roma.
Yeah, but he only played 17 minutes a game. That's the deal.
Jason Terry for 3. Oh, rimming out, and it's Ilya Silva with the rebound.
You always think he's going to score when he shoots, don't you?
Especially the way he's playing here in the fourth. Boy, he bit on the pass fake, but Ilya Silva missed a 3. Mavericks get the rebound. Owners of a 6-point lead. Barea straight on with the 3-point attempt. Loose ball foul. Milwaukee, they are racking up the fouls here in the fourth quarter. They now have 4.
Tell you what, Ross ran into Humphries on that rebound down there, and he took a shot, and he's been grimacing ever since.
Ross throwing in here. 4 team fouls now on Milwaukee. Luc Mbah a Moute with his 3rd. 9:40 remaining. DIRK drives, spins, got the ball back. Tough fadeaway, comes up short. Another loose ball foul. This one goes against Dallas on Chris Humphries. That collision you were speaking of a moment ago, Bob. Humphries and Ross.
Ross making the effort for the ball, but here comes Humphries, and he runs into him. Ross takes his hits. Tell you what, Ross is a good competitor. He's helping this team, and right now, Mavericks still in that zone, that 2-3 match.
Mbah a Moute tries to get into the middle of it. Lost the ball, but Jennings scoops it up and misses. DIRK the outlet pass, caught by Terry, stripped, loose ball. Ilyasova has it for Milwaukee. Ilyasova on a drive, blue past Humphries, down to Bogut who misses. Tip in is missed. And some opportunities for Milwaukee around the basket not going down. Jennings a miss last time down, and 2 point-blank shots missed by Ilyasova and Bogut. Timeout coming at the next dead ball. Under 9 to go in the game. At 7 on the shot clock. Nowitzki delivers a big hoop, rising up over Luc Mbah a Moute. First Mav to hit the 20-point plateau tonight. DIRK's done that in every game but one this year. Scored at least 20, has 21. At 12, Ridenour gives the ball up to Andrew Bogut. The lead for the Mavericks is back up to 8. Bogut's shot is no good, and Chris Humphries strong going after that defensive rebound.
Good decision by Jason Terry. That was a really good decision. There was nowhere to go and nothing that he could do. Isolation, left side, Nowitzki.
DIRK did it against Mbah a Moute on the right side last time. Now from the other side of the floor, off the mark. Ross had both hands on it, but it's knocked away, and Bogut saves it back in. Under 8 minutes to go. Jennings on the move. Went left, hard drive, misses on the layup, and then knocked out of bounds by Milwaukee. Jennings is now 4 for 13. Picks himself up off the floor, and there's a timeout on the floor with 7:50 remaining. Mavericks a tough one in Milwaukee, but leading by 8. Trip tonight at the Bradley Center. There was news around the NBA that is worth telling you about that occurred this morning. There was a trade as we check on the Klondike news and notes. It involves Steven Jackson, finally moved by Golden State along with Kimball High School's AC Law, the Dallas site. They go to the Charlotte Bobcats in exchange for former Maverick Raja Bell and Vladimir Radmanovich. Steven Jackson, by the way, joined his new team, the Charlotte Bobcats, for a game in Orlando tonight and played 45 minutes and scored 13 points for the Bobcats this evening.
Wow. Traded this morning, played 45 minutes tonight for a new team, a new system, a new coach.
For Larry Brown, and of course that situation in Golden State with the summer trade request and the way things had transpired, it had obviously become very toxic, and he had to be moved along and was today to the Charlotte Bobcats.
And as is usually the case with a pretty good player, you want to move him into the other conference.
And that's exactly what happened. Out of the timeout, Mavericks have the possession. Milwaukee got to within 3, but now Dallas has seen the lead creep back up to 8. The Mavs have led by as many as 18 here in the second half. Terry taken to the floor, tried to throw it to Barea. Jennings got to steal, but missed the layup. Tip in is good, though, for Ridenour.
Ridenour doesn't get many of those, but he was there to get that one.
We've got DIRK back on the bench. Gooden has returned. How long will DIRK rest? How long will Jason Kidd rest?
Gooden is also there.
Ilyasova with the rebounds.
That's it. I think they are headed toward the bench.
Nowitzki and Kidd up off the bench. Coming to the table.
I said Gooden, and Gooden's in the ball game.
And Jennings hits. And here is Milwaukee pulling back to within 3. And a 20-second timeout is taken by Dallas. Actually, they're going to make this a full. 6:43 remaining. Rick Carlisle stopping this mini Milwaukee run and giving himself a chance to get DIRK and Kidd back into the game. Well, Jennings coming off 55. He's had a rough go of it at times tonight, but buries that one from long distance, and it's a three-point game. Absolutely, at Trinity Mills and the Toll Road. 6:43 remaining, and as expected with that timeout, Jason Kidd, Dirk Nowitzki back in the game for Dallas. Milwaukee had quickly scored 5 straight to get back to within 3. 3-guard lineup for Dallas. Kidd, Terry, Barea, Dirk, and Gooden man the 4 and 5 spots. And it's Nowitzki out of the timeout, drilling a shot.
Really nice execution. It almost looked like the Bucks were going to look for Terry to come back around off the baseline on that left side of that floor, but he went down, set a pick for Nowitzki.
Ridnour gets it back from Bob Mute. Ilyasova's had a lot of run here in the second half. Gave the ball up. Bob Mute now late on the shot clock.
He'll shoot it.
Ridnour. He's going to have to take a tough shot. Leaning in. Offensive rebound, Milwaukee. Ilyasova for 3 over Kidd. And on the money. $13 tonight for Ilyasova. Also has his first double-double of the year as he's got 11 rebounds as well. Down to a 2-point game. Terry on the move. Kidd to beat the shot clock. Rainbow 3 is an air ball. 5:25 remaining. The Mavericks with a turnover on the shot clock violation. For Dallas, their 14th of the game. And Milwaukee with the ball. A 3 would give them their first lead since their only lead of the game, which was 3-2.
Rough waters right now for Dallas. Can they calm the storm?
Mavs are shooting over 55%. But Milwaukee with second chance points, 20 of them, and 12 made threes. That's why they are right on the doorstep here. Bamute left free. He misses at Dallas. Prevents any sort of second chance opportunity. Jason Kidd, rebound number 8. On the move, Barea. Deflection, and that goes out. 15 on the shot clock and 5:03 remaining.
Smart play by Gooden. Once he saw that it had been deflected by a white shirt, he just let it go rather than attempt to save it. That was the right play.
A game that tests your mettle. Second night of a back-to-back. More short-handed. With Marion not playing in the second half because of a left ankle sprain suffered in the first half. Jason Terry connects on a 3. A little bit of breathing room with under 5 minutes to go. Not much, but a little.
And the Mavericks stay in the zone. Played a lot of zone on this road trip. A lot more than we've seen them play.
Off a pick, Ridnour gets into a pocket and will not get the roll. It hung on the rim. It crawls out. DIRK rebounds. Back to DIRK against Ilyasova. Nowitzki. Rebound Ridnour. Finds Jennings. A quick release 3 is on the money.
That reminded me of Michael Redd. Just the way he, in transition like that, left-handed, quick release. What's it going to be like when Michael Redd's with this Buck team at the 2-guard position?
He went 7 of 8 on threes Saturday night. He's 3 for 4 tonight. Jason Terry to answer. Rebound Brandon Jennings. Under 4 minutes to go. It's Jennings against Barea with the screen. And Jennings again for the lead. Off the mark. Oh, you have to hold your breath when that shot goes up, considering the accuracy that he's been shooting threes with.
He rushed that a little bit, though. He really did. Kidd backing down. Ridnour.
And on the turnaround, Jason Kidd misses, and Jennings is there again. Well, he tried a heat check three last time and missed it. And Milwaukee will talk things over with a timeout. 3:23 to go. Scott Skiles calls a timeout. Dallas clinging to a 2-point lead on the road, 98-96. He's going to put up 55 tonight, but he has 18, including 8 here in the fourth quarter. And Ilyasova for the lead, bricks it, and DIRK gathers in the rebound.
Big rebound.
Ilyasova has been a lights-out three-point shooter tonight, but way off the mark.
Everything is big now down the stretch. When you're on the road, sitting on a 2-point lead.
Terry trying to create against Ilyasova. With 5, Barea in the paint, doesn't get the bounce. Brandon Jennings rebounds. Picked up by Terry defensively. Jennings into the corner. Ridnour feeds the post. Andrew Bogut. Now Jennings on the dribble drive. He ties it.
Great quickness that time. And he did go to his right to get around Barea, but then ended up coming back to the left hand.
He has come to life in the fourth quarter. Just tied it up. Now 10 on the shot clock. Ilyasova really getting into DIRK, commits the foul, which is before DIRK got the shot up. No continuation. Foul Ilyasova. Native of Turkey. His second foul, make it his third. And Milwaukee over the limit. 2 big free throws for Dallas. Dirk Nowitzki on the line, 2:11 to go.
I believe that was the right call. I don't think he had gathered, was not in his shooting motion. It was there, it was on the floor.
Yes, yes indeed.
Let's take a look at this. Ilyasova really uptight, really crowding DIRK, which is what you have to do. But DIRK has shown us before that he can put the ball on the floor, and he likes to go left when he does that. He will go right, but he likes to go to that left hand.
2 for 2 at the line. Rick Carlisle did tell us before a game recently that one thing that DIRK did do is work in the offseason and work so far this year on going right a little bit more often to mix it up against the defense. Went left there, drew the foul, gave the Mavericks the lead with the free throws, but Ilyasova gets open. And after bricking one moments ago, he gives Milwaukee the lead. Lets it rip from long range, and Milwaukee in front 101-100 on their 14th three-pointer of the game. Ten on the shot clock. DIRK again on the drive against Ilyasova. In the paint, no. Still alive. Out to Terry. Shot clock at 5. Terry, no good. Back tap by Gooden. Outside to Kidd. Mavericks have it back. Cutting to the basket. Gooden missed the layup. Tip in is good.
Great second effort by Gooden.
Timeout Milwaukee with 1:28 to go.
Good job sliding the baseline. Good pass, unselfish play. Getting the ball to him. And then a great second effort.
20-second timeout for the Bucks. Both teams have a full and a 20 now with 1:28 remaining. Has Drew Gooden. 20 points, 10 rebounds. Big double-double for the second straight night in his first 2 starts of the year. Here's DIRK missing the shot. Terry will miss, and then watch Gooden here. The tip out.
There, sliding the baseline. Good pass from Dirk Nowitzki. Missed the original shot, but quick off the floor to get the tip in. And no bigger offensive rebound and basket than that one.
Certainly a coincidence that you've got Milwaukee making a living on second chance points tonight. But a second chance basket, one of the few for Dallas in tonight's game, giving them the lead with 1:28 remaining. 102-101. Again, on the timeout situation, it's a full and a 20 for both teams. The Mavericks do have a foul to give here in the last 1:25. Jennings gets a pick by Bogut. Mavericks blitz that pick and roll. Jennings forced out on the floor. Now the shot clock a factor. It's 7 as Jennings drives, got fouled, and will go to the line. The foul of the act of shooting. Brandon Jennings, 2 free throws. Tonight he's 2 of 4 on foul shots. Came into the game at 83% this season on free throws. For the tie, he misses. He can still tie it. Charlie Bell in for Ilyasova at 1:10 remaining. Ilyasova has hit 4 threes in the second half. Jennings ties it.
Where will Dallas elect to go? Nowitzki or Terry?
Oh, a bobble by Barea. Loose ball. Barea going after it. Jennings comes away with it, though. Oh, the Mavericks with a big miscue. A costly turnover gives Milwaukee the ball back. They don't take a timeout. 50 seconds to go. Jennings on the drive. He floats it up and hits.
To his left. Was able to get to his left that time and hit that floater.
A full timeout by Dallas. A turnover committed by the Mavericks sets up Brandon Jennings to score. And Milwaukee leads with 45.6 remaining. What happened here, Bob? You've got Kidd. A pass at Barea right at his feet and ricocheted off his foot. And then you've got Jennings with a floater.
Obviously a very, very costly turnover. At that point, the single most important thing you can do is take care of the ball. Whatever you do, don't give it back to your opponent without getting a good look at the basket. And that did not happen. And Jennings was able to capitalize on that. Now, the Mavericks have been in this situation before. They are the more experienced team, the more mature team. Let's see how they handle this situation. Less than a minute to play.
They just used their last full timeout. They do have a 20-second timeout remaining. Down 104-102.
Remember that Rick Carlisle is very good in situations like this as it relates to out-of-bounds plays. We saw it last year. We've seen it again this year. We saw it here tonight. Remember also that if he elects to move the ball into the front court, which he probably will do, the inbounds pass is very, very important, and the pick to get the man open to receive the pass is very important. They will take it to the front court. As I mentioned, they will take it probably on the left side of the floor.
You see the injury update. Sean Marion most notable, of course, because his injury occurred tonight in the first half on the first play of the game. Sprained a left ankle. Did play 15 first half minutes, but not available for the second half. Jason Terry to take the ball out of bounds. Kidd, Gooden, Barea, and DIRK on the floor. Charlie Bell guards the inbounds pass. Milwaukee does not have a foul to give. It's into Kidd, and he got it back to Terry. Going right, feeds DIRK. Poked away by Bob Moute. Back to DIRK. Now Terry on the drive for the tie from the baseline. He hits bullseye with 32.2 to go.
One of their favorite plays, right side of the floor, the two-man game with Nowitzki and Terry.
All even at 104. Shot clock and game clock about a 7-second difference. Cross-court pass. Kidd tried to get into the passing lane, but Bell gets it. And now Bell wants to get rid of the ball and does to Ridnour. 6 seconds to shoot it. Ridnour missed a three. Tapped outside. Jennings has it. Now Milwaukee can hold for the last shot. Try to win it, or it will be overtime. It's Brandon Jennings. 4-3. No good, short. Kidd going after it. A jump ball with .7. A jump ball at .7 almost assures now that you're looking at overtime at 104-104.
Ooh, I don't know. There's plenty of time to catch and shoot.
20-second timeout in Milwaukee. In a tie game at 104, Bell against Kidd. The toss to be handled by Leon Wood. And here it is, and it is deflected, and the Mavericks and Bucks will play 5 more minutes in Milwaukee at the Bradley Center. The pivotal bucket, Jason Terry, a 2 with 32.2 remaining, tied it. It's 104-104 as we'll be back in a moment. Radar. Kids Night, Friday against Sacramento. You can celebrate the birthday of Mavericks mascot Champ. And Military Appreciation Night when the Golden State Warriors come to town. That's the opener of 4 games and 5 nights for Dallas, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, November 24th. Buy one, get one free with a military ID. Call 214-747-MAVS or log on to Mavs.com. 5 games and 28 tries in Milwaukee, and 2 of the wins have come in overtime. Can they make it a third? You've got Beaubois back in the game now, as Andrew Bogut and Drew Gooden will meet at center court for the jump ball. Kid Terry, Beaubois, DIRK, and Gooden start for Dallas here at the beginning of the extra 5. And it's Brandon Jennings, Luke Ridnour, Luke Mute, Ersan Ilyasova, and Andrew Bogut.
Milwaukee 56% on three-pointers tonight, 14 out of 25.
Overtime begins with Milwaukee controlling the tip. Beaubois chasing Brandon Jennings all over the floor. Jennings off a screen. In the corner, Ilyasova. Kidd knocks it away. Loose ball. Kidd gets the on-the-ball steal. Mavericks have a transition opportunity. Beaubois to the basket. The reverse is no good. Ilyasova got back and might have affected that shot, Bob, as Jennings goes inside and learns to trip to the line.
Good defensive job on that last sequence by Dallas. Good job with offensive pressure.
Both against Ridnour between the circles. On a bounce to Terry, left side of the floor. Oh, we're back with video. Terry in the paint. What a great time to be back with video as Terry gets inside and scores for Dallas.
High off of the glass.
Under 4 minutes to go in overtime. Quick 3, Brandon Jennings, no good. And Drew Gooden there for the defensive rebound. A team best 11 rebounds. Second night of a back-to-back. How much gas is in the tank for Dallas? 2-2 so far in overtime. Jason Terry misses. A rebound for Bogut. Real international flair on the floor for Milwaukee. You've got Mute, born in Cameroon. Jennings, who played last year in Italy. Bogut from Australia. Ilyasova from Turkey, and it's Bogut with the hook shot.
See, that time he went with his left hand. He's very talented. He gets down around the basket. He can make some things happen.
Milwaukee breaks the tie. Where will Dallas go to answer? They set up DIRK against Ilyasova. Really getting active with the hands, and he reached in and fouled. Well, one thing about the way Ilyasova has defended DIRK tonight in those situations is his hands are just going crazy.
It's that old belly button defense. You know, he's right up that time. I'm serious. Maury John wrote a book called Belly Button Defense. He was the old coach who's passed away right now, but Drake University, very successful.
On the drive, Jason Terry, and a call here for an offensive foul. That's no basket for Drew Gooden. Offensive foul, Jason Terry, with just under 3 left at overtime.
Here comes the importance of the defensive stop now. Terry down into the paint.
There's Ilyasova again.
Gooden did make that shot, but it will not count.
Jennings against Beaubois. Ridnour to Bogut. They go back inside to Bogut. He misses. He gave him a tie-breaking basket last time down. DIRK with a rebound.
That's a bit of a mismatch there. Ilyasova's not on DIRK this time.
And it's DIRK over Mute and hitting to tie it at 2:28 remaining.
Good recognition by Nowitzki and his teammates. They let him go because he had the advantage on that mismatch.
Mute, a good defender, but definitely a height differential between Ilyasova and Mute. Behind the back dribble, Ridnour into the paint, tough shot, off the mark, way off the mark, and Gooden upstairs for the rebound.
Well, that's a bad decision there.
Ridnour's made some good ones tonight and has shot the ball well. But forcing up a shot, and now for the lead, a three-point bomb is hit by DIRK with 1:55 to go. Timeout Milwaukee. It's a 20. Mavericks 111, Bucks 108.
You never know how a basket like that is going to propel you when you have 1:55 left on the clock. It should be the impetus that, just tired or not tired, causes you to give that extra effort defensively, and that's exactly what Dwayne Casey is getting after right now.
Dirk Nowitzki, the Mavericks' 10th three-pointer of the game. How about that reaction? Another find by Kidd to give him 16 assists. You've had Milwaukee hit 14 threes tonight. Now Dallas just got their 10th.
It's amazing the importance of the three-point shot in the NBA anymore, and certainly as a result of how that importance has grown over the years at the NBA level, it's grown over the years at the collegiate level.
Third time this year that Dirk's hit the 30-point plateau. He's at 30 on the button. Just gave Dallas the 111-108 lead. The Mavericks forced overtime on a bucket by Jason Terry with 32 seconds left in regulation. Had him now outscored Milwaukee 7-4 in the extra frame. Quickly into Ridnour. He forced up a shot last time down. We've got Milwaukee coming off at 20. Bobois played the whole overtime, by the way. Has really been working hard against Jennings. A lot of denial defense. Ilyasova in the paint, a little off balance, but still gets it to go.
Tell you what, that young guy's a pretty good basketball player.
Ilyasova with a season-high 18 points. He also has 12 boards.
Might be a bit of a breakout game for him.
Dirk back outside the Kid. Now at 8 to shoot. They've got Ilyasova on Dirk this time, rising up, and does not get the bounce. The Bucks shoot for the lead on this trip. It's Ridnour quickly on the move. He'll peel back. He's got Kidd defending Ridnour. He'll drive. Brandon Jennings in the paint, had a bobble, and he gets it to Ilyasova inside, and a foul. That looked a little bit out of control. I do think that that was an attempt to pass it to him, though, Bob.
It was.
It's a two-shot foul. It's on Gooden. Yeah, that is a pass attempt, and when you get a look at it from that angle, it's a heck of a play by Brandon Jennings. Ilyasova's first free throws of the game. For the year, Ilyasova is 13 of 14 at the line. First one ties it at 55.7. He broke his nose in the exhibition season. That's why he wears that mask.
He may be like Richard Hamilton. He'll never take it off again. Hamilton doesn't need to wear it anymore, but he continues to wear it.
Big miss for a guy who was 13 of 14 for the year coming into that trip to the line. Only splits and does not give Milwaukee the lead. Jason Terry had a big basket late in regulation. Penny to deliver one late in overtime. Rises up. And a rebound. Oh no, a foul on Dirk. Loose ball foul. 37.9 to go. And free throws for Milwaukee to try to put him in front.
An attempt to go over the top and get the rebound. He was on the player's back in front of him. You get a good look at it here. There's Dirk trying to go over the top. Unfortunately, that is the right call, I think.
Foul number 2 on Dirk. This year, Luc Mbah a Moute 6 of 9 on free throws. Breaks the tie, hitting the first. Milwaukee has scored the last 4 points. A bucket by Ilyasova. A 1 of 2 trip to the line for Ilyasova. And now Luc Mbah a Moute try to go 2 for 2. And does. He was one of those bench substitutions that Scott Skiles made early in the third quarter. Remember that the Mavs were up by 18, and at 9:22 left in the third, Scott Skiles took all 5 of his starters out, put in 5 bench players, and Ridnour, Ilyasova, and Mbah a Moute really triggered the comeback. And here it is, Mbah a Moute giving Milwaukee the lead as Dallas takes a 20 at 37.9 to go.
And that's really indicative of Scott Skiles' attitude toward the whole thing, because the thing he wants first and foremost is effort, hustle, and focus, and passion, and you know, a love for wanting to play the game. He didn't see that early in the second half, so he said, all right, you 5 guys that started the second half, come over here. I'll give you a free ticket. You can sit down in the game and watch for a while. Sit down on the bench and watch the game for a while.
Jennings and Bogut have come back to play, obviously, quite a bit in the fourth quarter and overtime. But we have seen very little of the other 3 starters since then. As a matter of fact, we haven't seen Delfino or Warwick since then. We have seen a very little of Charlie Bell. So a 2-point game. Now Dallas was successful in this situation, down by 2 in regulation. 37.9 remaining. Jason Terry triggers in to Kidd. They're looking for Terry. They find him. Bell is in the game here. And it's Dirk. A 2 to tie in the lane. Scoop layup. Won't go home, but tipped home. Drew Gooden again.
Gooden with a tip in.
Timeout Milwaukee. Tied at 113 with 27 seconds left. Milwaukee had scored the last 5, but Drew Gooden with another late game putback. He had one late in regulation, and here he has one late in overtime to tie it. Dirk's layup attempt wouldn't go, and Gooden there to tip it home.
Dirk, that's a real good move down low by Nowitzki. It didn't go, but there is a great example of an offensive rebounder sliding the baseline on the offensive board. If he works toward the middle, he doesn't get that tip in. Work the baseline. One of the best I've ever seen at that in a Maverick uniform was Popeye Jones. You know, student hasn't learned, teacher hasn't taught.
Big line tonight for Drew Gooden. As you saw a moment ago, 22 points, 13 rebounds. Now it's Milwaukee with a chance to break the tie. Throwing in Luke Baumute to Ilyasova. He has played a fantastic second half at overtime. Jennings against Beaubois. 2 rookies with the game on the line. 3-second differential.
Mavericks will get it back.
Mavs don't have a foul to give. Tie game, late in overtime. Jennings, a step back 3. Beaubois got a hand on it. Good in the ball. Timeout, Dallas.
Mavericks have plenty of time.
3.5 remaining. They'll be able to advance it into the front court. A 3-point miss by Brandon Jennings and a timeout taken by Dallas. Milwaukee has made 14 threes tonight, but a 3 that would have put Dallas in a very bad spot comes up way short. With 3.5 remaining, it's Dallas ball and a break in the action.
Rick Carlisle will advance the ball into the front court once again.
Each team has a timeout. Mavericks assistant Terry Stotts coming out on the floor to make sure to communicate that to Jason Kidd.
It's a different play because Kidd is out of bounds with the ball this time. He was the receiver on the last one.
3.5 to go. Tie game. End of overtime. Into Terry. Milwaukee had that foul to give, but Charlie Bell takes it. Only 0.2 of a second run off the clock. It's now at 3.3.
It's a very smart play by Milwaukee. A good call by Scott Skiles.
Greg Willard and Leon Wood are talking. It might take a little time off the clock. 3.1. Rather than 3.3, it's 3.1. Kidd to throw in. End of OT. Can Dallas get a game winner? Kidd's pass. Caught by Dirk. Over Baumute for the win. He gets the bounce.
He got it.
He got the bounce.
Oh, wow.
The Mavericks take it in overtime in Milwaukee and end the road trip at 3-1.
Holy cow. The officials are going to gather together here. Don't know what that discussion. They may have to bring Milwaukee back out on the floor. They're going to check the time. They are going to check the time to see if there's any time left on the clock. You might want to hold the Mavericks and not let them go in yet either, because I think they are going to put a little bit of time back on the clock. This is one of the situations where they can go for that replay deal and check it.
1:15, 1:13 Dallas. Here's the shot into Dirk. How about this fortuitous bounce? Over Luke Richard Baumute. There ain't no time going back on that clock, baby.
No,
it's over.
Fortuitous. Lucky too, huh?
How about that? And understandable after a win like that for that mob. Unbelievable.
Don't take them down like that.
Refs are getting another look at this. Over Luke Richard Baumute, shot by Dirk. The bounce.
No time on the clock.
Bingo.
Would you call that a shooter's roll?
Indeed. Indeed. What a game. Dirk Nowitzki, the 2-pointer to win it at the horn. Dallas will take it in overtime. 1:15, 1:13. Watch Dirk, watch the release over Bob Mute. Boy, he's got a hand right in his face. What a tough shot. He releases it, obviously, with 1 second remaining. Reminds me of the shot over Reggie Evans last year to win it at the end of the game against Philadelphia.
He's been there before, hasn't he?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
It's amazing. The two guys grabbing a hold of Dirk right there, bouncing around like a couple of kids. One of them a 15-year veteran, Jason Kidd. The other one a rookie, Roddy Beaubois.
Mavericks win it 115-113 in overtime. The buzzer beater by Dirk and the mob scene afterwards.